Do you want to be in the exact same place that you were in last year? We're entering into a brand new year. And the last thing that you want is to end up next year in the exact same way that you're ending up this year. So guess what? If you keep on doing the exact same thing, you're gonna end up with the exact same result. So you might as well take this time to change. And change is not accidental, it's intentional. And in today's video, we are talking about designing your dream life. And we're gonna talk about how we're gonna actually do that. And if you like the content, do me a favor, subscribe and like, and maybe share it with someone that needs this for this coming year. I think what we're gonna be talking about today is one of the most important things to talk about for every person. I don't care how old you are. Mark Twain once said, the two most important days in your life are the day that you were born and the day that you find out why. And I think about so many different things when it comes to my life and purpose, and maybe you do too. And recently I was just thinking about this, like, if I were to leave my kids something of value, what would it be? Yeah, I could give them a financial inheritance. That's special and such a good thing to do. I want to make sure that they also, and this is probably the most important thing for me, that they have a relationship with God. And that's really the utmost important for me. But the next best thing that I could leave my children are the tools that could serve their life. And what we're gonna be talking about today is at the very top of that list. I think one of the best gifts that I could give my kids is an understanding to design their dream life. I think it's one of the best gifts a dad could give, but also it's one of the best gifts that anyone can have. Henry Ford once said that the whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do and then do it. Now, a lot of people find this very complicated. I also don't want to make this complicated, and I want to make it very, very simple. And sometimes we might even think that this is such an impossible feat to do, to accomplish. And so my goal is to simplify things. I'm going to share with you principles that will help you design your dream life. And the first thing to accomplish this is that we have to have something. Now, it might sound weird, what I'm going to share, and you might even dismiss it, but please don't. This is the foundation for building your dream life. It begins with your imagination. It begins with imagination. Yeah, the first thing to accomplish dreams and visions is your imagination. You want to imagine what you want your life to look like in the future. Now, what I want to do is I want to encourage you to take time and imagine what you want your life to look like this coming year, or maybe in the next 5 years or 10 years. What could that be? Now, let me define for you the definition of a dream, and that is this. It's an inspiring picture of the future that energizes our thoughts, our wills, our imaginations, and our emotions. They empower you to do everything possible to achieve it. That's why we need our dream. We have dreams. We all have dreams. We all do. And what tends to happen is that the older we get, the more non-practical those dreams are. And so we kill our dreams, or we put those dreams in shelves for some other time. And I used to be a big dreamer as a kid. I think all kids are. Children are full of wonder, imagination, with brilliant ideas. Children dream dreams that are really, really big. And here's the amazing part, they fully believe them. Before they even see the reality, they imagine them, they see those dreams, and they walk them out. They actually think they're actually superheroes. I have a 4-year-old son, and he imagines himself as that superhero. And one minute he's, one superhero, and next he's another superhero. And then he tells me that what he's gonna do with outer space and so on. A child will even gaze at the clouds and make images in the sky, scenes in their minds. A child will play on the playground and make a whole palace. They will make a castle. They imagine themselves as rulers or running a kingdom. Their imaginations are taking them there right in the playground. It's one of the most amazing things that we are given from birth, and we don't want to lose it. Like I said, I was one of those dreamers when I was a kid. I would find myself drifting in school while I was, or even like mowing lawns or playing basketball. Anywhere and anything that I was doing, I would dream. I would dream on the school bus. I would dream on the playground. I would dream about my favorite times or what I could do, or under a night sky. I would imagine and I would dream. Here's the thing. We need to find out, what is the purpose of a dream? So what is that? What's the purpose of a dream? I used to think that dreams were self-indulgent, and many times they can be. But these dreams are often kind of pushed aside like they're not important, or they're too selfish, or totally about you, or they're just, temporary fulfillment of some kind, or that we need to prove ourselves being successful in some way. I'm telling you, we don't need to do any of that. You have a dream right now inside you, and maybe it's been dormant. And I want to encourage you to bring those dreams back to the forefront of your life, because God placed a dream and a purpose in each and every one of us. And you don't have to put it dormant. You don't have to procrastinate about it. You don't have to say some other time, or I have to get these things in order first before I do that. No, you don't have to do that. You can actually partake of that dream right now and start building your dream, building your life around that, and start taking action steps towards those dreams that you have. That's why I want to encourage you about your imagination, because our imagination is so powerful that if you imagine it, sustain it, don't kill it, you can have it. We live out the things that we think about for ourselves. Here's an important question for you. What are your ambitions and hopes that maybe you've never spoken out loud about? I want you to say it. Say it today. Maybe even grab a notepad and write it out. Flood your mind with all those thoughts that you imagine for your life. Flood them out in your life, okay? Now, what I'm gonna say next is so critical. I want you to suspend all your unbelief or any limiting belief when you consider your dream. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to write it down. It's important to write down your dreams. What do you imagine your life to be like? Take time to write it down, okay? Take time to wonder and consider, and maybe even explore. This is the first action step that you have to do. You have to take time to write out what you imagine for your life. If it's in business, imagine it. What do you want it to look like? What are you going to serve? What are you going to create? Maybe you have a business right now, and maybe you feel stuck. You want to write out what it could be. What are the possible dreams for your business? Now, don't define it. Don't wonder how you're going to get at it, what you're gonna do, okay? Don't surround it with limitations or boundaries on it yet. I want you to suspend all unbelief and doubt. You need to imagine possibilities and potential. Focus on the outcome, not on the means to get there. Listen, you want to suspend disbelief. I'm gonna say that again because it's a temptation for all of us to already put limitations. Act as if your success is certain. You don't have to know how you're going to get there, but you must know where you're going to go. So like I said, take the time writing it out, what you imagine, what you're dreaming your life to be. That's the first step. Let's pretend for a second. You and I are sitting down over a cup of coffee 1 year from now, next year, and I want you to define what success would look like. Now, you could go a lot further than 1 year. You could go 5 years, 10 years. But I suggest that you begin with 1 year, and then 5 years, and then 10 years, and so on. You could take time in writing out what success would look like from now. Okay, what would that look like? And visit specific areas that you're wanting to change in. For example, if you want a relationship change, focus on that. If you want a specific thing to happen in your business or your nonprofit organization, write that out. I would imagine what that would look like, what that would be like, okay? That's the step one. Let me share with you a story. I remember I wanted to have a specific type of an event. It had not been created yet, had not been done. I've worked for other organizations as far as their event coordinator and director already. I had already done that, accomplished that, but I wanted my own. I wanted to see 1,000 to 2,000 people in attendance with my own event. I wanted that room to experience something specific. And I imagined myself on that stage with the sound and lights and the cameras, all of that. I even imagined a jib arm as the camera. I really wanted that for some reason. And guess what? 1 year later, after I had imagined it, it came to pass. Every aspect of my imagination came to be. It became a reality, a manifestation of my imagination. And guess what happened? I went to work for what I imagined. Of course, with God's help and a lot of other people, it came to be. But I knew where I was going. I didn't know how I was going to get there. And when I first started, I had no clue all the pieces to put that thing together. Another time, I wanted a building and I didn't know how I was going to get it. But I knew I wanted and needed a building. I had learned about imagination already. So I started to imagine what that building could look like, what it would feel like. I started imagining different parts to that building. And guess what? That became a reality. Now it ended up looking a little bit different than what I had initially imagined. But for the most part, it became a reality. And can I tell you where I got this from? There are 2 Bible verses that really helped me. Here's the first one. The Bible says that my people perish for a lack of vision. They cast off restraint, it says in Hosea 4:6. So vision is the key ingredient. Vision is that picture that you see in your mind's eye, but it's not a reality yet. And people they will die from lacking vision. And the other part of that verse is that they don't have vision for something, they won't have corresponding action. They cast off restraint, which means they won't have restraining boundaries to their life. It means that they won't have discipline unto something. So if I had the picture of that building, then I was able to put behavior and action around that picture that I had in my mind. So you need a vision. And if you don't have that, you need to have that today. If you want the next year to be different, then it begins with a vision. It's why I like vision boards. It's why every single year I gather my family around to talking about what the next year could look like differently. And we talk about it, we write it down. It's been a discipline of mine because I found that I wanted to change what next year could look like, and it begins with a vision. So I write it down. The book of Habakkuk says that to write it down and make it plain. So make sure that it's written on paper. It's key to write it down. Now let me share with you the second verse that helped me catch this. And this one really changed everything for me. Now this is gonna be a little bit longer and it's gonna be very different and maybe unusual for you, but I'm telling you, it's very powerful. In Genesis chapter 11, verse 4, it says this: let us build a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make a name, lest we be scattered upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men built. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and they began to do. And now nothing, this is key, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they imagined to do. This is so powerful. They were in unity and they came together to build this tower, a city. And then God said nothing that they imagined to do would be restrained from them. It means that they would actually build a tower that would reach heaven. What a powerful thought, okay? That's how powerful our imaginations are. Now I'm going to get real practical. That's gonna really help you. Now, after you have written down those things down, those ideas, those imaginations down, what you imagine next year to look like, write it down. Then these are the next steps that are going to help you become real practical for you to accomplish what you imagine. So the next thing you need to do is you need to have a dream team. You wanna surround yourself with people who can help you and strengthen you. First, they need to believe in you. It's good if they challenge you, but they have to believe in the dream that you're building. Be teachable and consider what they say and weigh things out with the advice that they're giving you and get counsel from other people. Let me be really honest with you. It's why I love coaching programs with the community, because my belief is something that can be given to me by being around that group. Proximity is power. And Proverbs says, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. It's why I believe in having a coach to learn from, even for a season. And if you don't have a coach, if you don't have a mentor that you can go and say, I really want to develop these skills in my life or in my business, or, I get people all the time that are like, Antonio, I really want to go into a coaching business. and yet I don't have the skills, so they think they're gonna Google their way to success. But I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. For some reason, we've stopped getting a coach or a mentor. You know, where we're in school, we get coaches and mentors all the time. We get teachers to help us. But when we get out of school, we stop doing that. I'm telling you, one of the most powerful things, if you want to change your life in 2024, get a coach, get a mentor. If you wanted to go online, get a coach, get a mentor. You could talk to us. We would love to talk to you and find out where you're at, what you're wanting to build. We would love to have that discussion with you. So the question is, who are the possible people that you can discuss and plan out some of these things that are in your heart? And name the individuals. Write this out as well. Write this down. The second key that will help you achieve your dream is schedule it. Your schedule is where the rubber meets the road. It's where your dream becomes a reality. It may not be the full fruition, or it might not be in full existence yet, but your schedule is the steps towards it. So I recommend making a schedule that prioritizes all the areas in your life that you're wanting to change. Begin by organizing them, like in 2-hour increments. This is what I'm gonna do at this time. This is what I'm gonna do next time, and so on. John Wooden once said, make every day your masterpiece. If you can do that, you do that with your schedule, okay? Time is the greatest equalizer for all of us. We all have 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, resulting in 168 hours per week. Take out 56 hours for sleep, and we are down to 112 hours to achieve all the results that we desire. We cannot save time. It can only be spent. And there are only 2 ways to spend our time. We can spend it wisely, or we can squander it. Now, you have your time right now in front of you. Use this life resource as one of the most important things to evaluate, consider, and act upon, but make sure that you do it today. Our schedule creates the law of familiarity. The more we repeat our behavior, the more it becomes second nature to us. And the more our minds see something over and over and over again, and then we do them naturally. Now, you'll never change your life until you change something daily. This is where the rubber meets the road, like I said. So make sure that the actions that you need to take are in your schedule. Otherwise, that vision that you wrote down is just a pipe dream. Don't make your dreams a pipe dream. Make it a reality with your schedule. Now, let me share with you the next thing that you need to do. You need to have a growth plan. Always be learning, digest knowledge, integrate them into your life. Your plan should include books, courses, events to learn, and I highly recommend, like I said earlier, a coaching program. The more you invest, the more you will get out of it. The main reason for this is the more you invest, the more it costs you, the more you're going to pay attention. If you pay attention. And then you're gonna do something else. You're gonna take massive action. So I've given courses for free all the time. But guess how much action most of those people take when it's free? None, or at most, very little action. So I know that when we invest in something that it costs us, we get fully engaged. And when it comes to a growth plan, put specific goals to this, and they include a date with that goal to keep you accountable. And the last thing that I want to end is with this. You want to protect your dreams. There's some things that will hijack your dreams. Dreams are so powerful that they should propel you, but they are also dangerous because your dreams may threaten others. Not everyone will like it. It will threaten some people. For example, jealousy. Jealousy will kill dreams and destinies in our life from other people. It can also get us off track if we compare ourselves with others. We need to learn to recognize jealousy in ourselves, and as soon as possible, we want to recognize it in other people. And also, you want to fear jealousy in your life. Fear jealousy so that you do not have fear trapped in your life. And you want to attack it. Get out of the way of jealousy. Run from it. And when you see it in yourself, do all you can to resist it. When you have any kind of promotion or success, jealousy in others is usually right next to it. Jealousy is a dream killer. Now, there's another thing when it comes to dream killers. Things that will enslave us. Many times we get ourselves into debt or other types of addictions of various kinds. These things can deter, distract, or get us completely off course. If there's anything that controls your life, you want to make sure that you break that off ASAP. Addictions of different kinds are easy to get into. So get busy in your job, get busy in your dream, get busy with your schedule. In closing, If you haven't dreamed in a while, start today. If you have a dream, but you've been distracted or deterred from that dream, put it in the schedule, write it down, and start building unto that dream. You will never go further than the dreams can take you. Dreams give you purpose, a plan, and a compass. So to recap our time, you want to write down your vision for this next year. Then you want to surround yourself with a dream team. Then you want to schedule your goals. Then you make a growth plan. And last, you want to protect your dream. These are the keys to building your dream life. Start with 1 year, then the next year, and then the next 5 years, and so on. This is the time to build your best life. All right, guys, do me a favor one more time. Subscribe and like and share this video. Until the next time, be blessed from the best. Dare to dream and act on that dream.